Hi, I'm Andrew Peters with Kingdoms of Sports, and I'm going to be presenting you with some stats today. Now, football, basketball, and baseball. I don't know how I couldn't find a baseball. This is a sports facility, but what are you going to do? Now, we're going to be starting with baseball. Now, there is a tiny little fungus called the Pilobolus fungus, and it uses a hydraulic system to launch these spores. He launches these spores as a range of 3 meters, and it goes as fast as 45 miles an hour. But for a little fungus that small, that's pretty incredible. Now, as I said, baseball. Picture this little tiny fungus pitching, Major League. Hard to believe. I didn't really, I kind of just passed it aside at first. But then I saw its stats. Now, it's kind of just a little bit kind of incredible. You don't even understand. A tiny little fungus pitching major leagues. It played 27 games, and it started 27 games. It was ranked number 1 out of all the pitchers in the league, and it pitched just about 200 innings, 198.7, about 200 innings. It's really good. Hit about 170, had about 170 hits, 168 hits. Earned runs, it was only at 39, and it got 31 walks. But, I mean, for a pitcher, these are all very reasonable. And although we're really looking at innings pitched, he was amazing. He was ranked number 1. You can't really complain about that. Next up, an organism called the archerfish. And I understand now why its name is archerfish. This is basketball. And for those of you that do not know basketball, prepare to be enlightened. The archerfish, part of the Annihilating Animals, one of the best basketball teams in the league. The archerfish did amazing. It blew my mind. I have been following this animal for ever since it started its rookie year in 2012, and it's insane how well it's done. He's already gotten MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Most Improved Player awards. That's basketball. The archerfish, when in the wild, it uses water to project it upwards to its prey, and basically stuns the prey. Usually small insects. It can shoot it up to 9 feet and has amazing precision accuracy, and it will hit its prey. And within a tenth of a second, it will already be under the prey, ready to catch it in its mouth. And you also have to think about this. The fish, it's underwater. Fish, they swim, they're underwater, obviously. When the light from above comes down on this fish, it hits the water and it refracts everywhere. This fish has to basically predict where its prey is and hit it right on target and be ready in a tenth of a second to catch it. Which is pretty incredible. And going all the way from that to a National League of Basketball, it's pretty insane. Here's some stats. First season, it played 17 games. Second season, 22, and it went up to 24 the next season. Minutes went all the way from 28.5 all the way to 36 in the last season it's played, which was 2014. Its field goal percentage rounded off to be about late .8s, early .9s, which is incredible. Rookie year, got a .856, which is insane. 3-point percentages, .95. Its rookie year, and it's gone down to .905 for this year. But you cannot complain about that. .905. Most players have around .5, and they think that that's amazing. And you see this guy with .9s and .8s consistently. It's insane. His accuracy is something you do not see every day. Free throws. Rookie year, he got a .975. And the next year after that, he got a solid 1. Perfect. All right, next year after that, almost the same thing, but he got a .989, which is basically .99, which is almost a 1. But he didn't get it. He just missed one free throw. That's all it took. Offensive and defensive rebounds, you aren't going to be seeing much there because he's a more offensive player, and if anything, more offensive rebounds, but he's smaller. It's going to be hard to get up there and get that rebound, opposed to other defensive players like the center or the power forward. Rebounds, got a couple of those, but more or less just because of following up on its shot. Assist wasn't very fond of those per game, but that's because it was ranking up points with 36 points his rookie season, while it only played 28.5 minutes. More than a point a minute, which is pretty incredible for its first year. 38.7 points next year, and topping off with 41 points in the most recent year. Each and every point to minute ratio, you've scored more than 1 point every minute. And you're not always guaranteed possession every minute. Turnovers happen. One of the most interesting organisms I've yet to find in the kingdom of Animalia. Archerfish. Next up, football. The monster of football right now is a cactus. Now, I had to recheck my sources. But a cactus? Apparently, cactus is the master of this baby. Now, even though it doesn't get much hand on the ball, it's great defensive. And when it's not playing defensive, it's a cornerback. Getting more than 24 interceptions in 4 years. 4 in its first season, 8 in the next 2 seasons, and 4 in the last season. It's played 16 games consistently every single season. Has a total of 308 yards in the last four seasons. And for a defensive player, or a mainly defensive player, that's amazing. But back to those interceptions. 24 interceptions. That's incredible. The cactus, he earned awards such as Most Defensive Player, MVP. He earned the Heisman in college. Why wasn't I following this? How come I didn't know about this? A cactus. I had no clue. It spikes. Using them to pretty much scare off anyone going towards that quarterback. Either scaring them off or landing a whole bunch of needle-like hairs into their face. Who wants that? And it can hold water. Now, you're probably saying anyone can hold water. I can hold water right in my stomach. Well, it can hold water and contain it and use it for later use when it's needed, like in droughts in the wild. But you could use it to increase its stamina and ability to keep playing consistently without getting fatigued, tired during the middle of the game, while other players are begging for water and just pleading to get off on the sidelines. He's still playing strong, and that's pretty great. And those are your stats. Don't forget, Kingdoms of Sports. Here with your daily news, sports related. And I'm Andrew Peters, and I'm signing off.